How's it going, laser Bruces? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Sound of Drop. Now, I may have alluded that the series was over in the last episode, and indeed I did. That's because I forgot about the fact that we need to come back in here and say I really hate Himanoto and see what that happens there. But I also did a little bit of research in between then and now, and also discovered that there is another ending route with two other endings that we need to get to after this. So there's plenty more Sound of Drop to come. So for now, let's Maybe I Really Hate Himanoto and see how that goes, because I can't see how that could possibly ever backfire. Let's do it. That thought passes through the deepest part of my heart. It could be that I also... Mayu? In the depths of my heart, I may also bear some unease and dissatisfaction towards you, Himeno. They have no reason to dislike each other. Their argument was literally about fucking nothing. It's ridiculous. But anyway, carry on. Even for me, it's a surprisingly cool tone I use. Himeno nods and bites her lip. I kind of think that the desire to save you, that I got caught up in, probably came from my sense of duty and responsibility. Yeah, that's true, I guess. It's just that I said something so terrible and thought to myself that I didn't like you. The one who tried to save me with everything she had, so thinking I can go home with you is strange. Himeno, I didn't say anything like that. No, it's alright. If that's how you truly feel, it wouldn't be right for me to accept it. Not to accept it. Himeno quickly pulls her hand back, and she takes a step back from the ticket gate. I'll stay here. Huh? This whole place is gonna collapse. You're gonna be gone. Without giving me a chance to respond, Himeno is swallowed up in a black hole as it expands in time with a tremor. Due to the crumbling of Manten Aquarium, this whole world is eroding. Himeno's body disappears into a hole the same size as the others throughout Manten Aquarium. No way. The destruction is swallowing up everything. Right up to my feet. A floorboard knocks me into the air, launching me past the ticket gate. And then we survive. Hooray! But Himeno doesn't. Boo. Seriously, their argument was dumb. That's just me saying. A week after returning to the safety of our original world, I visit Manten Aquarium. So pretty. I enter the jellyfish booth and admire the expansive cosmos without a second thought. Himeno's not at my side. It seems that Himeno's parents have filed a missing persons report, since she hasn't come home at all. However, the police investigation has been fruitless and Himeno has not been found. Of course not. She was swallowed up in all that destruction. Duh. Dumb police. Jeez. Don't you even know about cosmic, alternate universes in an aquarium collapsing and taking people with it? And so half a year has passed since that day. Soon, I'll move up a grade. I visit Manten Aquarium again. Every time I go, there's no strange occurrences. Just an aquarium overflowing with smiles and emotion. One by one I carefully examine each exhibit. The impatient Himeno would always prod me along with, hurry, hurry. But now the Himeno is no longer with me. No matter how fascinating the aquarium is, it's never enough. It isn't just my enjoyment of the aquarium. If I think back on it now, ever since that day, my daily life has been grey, having lost the light that was Himeno. I don't even know how to have fun anymore. Having returned home, I laugh emptily. I'm sitting on my bed, holding my knees, not doing anything in particular, just spacing out. Before I know it, I've fallen asleep, and the morning of the next day has come. Lying down and getting back up is hard, and every day is depressing. But it can't be helped. This is the result of my choice, and of Himeno's resolve to stay back that day. Just a bit. Maybe it's selfish to feel lonely. Yeah, I'd say so. After that, yeah. True feelings. Is that the ending I was after? I don't even know. Perhaps it was. That's a bad end. Fuck. Let me go. I've got a walkthrough. Let me go check that. I'll be right back. Okay, so that was that version of the ending. To get to the next ending, we need to start a new game, apparently. I'm not sure how much is going to be repeated, so I might keep you around while I skip with the skip button, or maybe I'll cut. I don't know if the blue options are necessary, like whether I have to say certain things. It does look like it here on the list here, that it's important that I do the right thing, but I guess we'll see. Let's jump in. Right. I mean, it'll stop me skipping as soon as we come across something new, right? I assume. That's the norm. This is new. Tonight's concert is taking place at 7 p.m. at the Manten live music club, Curator. The indie band Black Rising Crows, being promoted by Curator, the bassist from the major label band Eveningland, is on schedule for tonight and a popular topic of conversation. It's not that I'm not interested, but rather than hype, I prefer substance. And anyway, my aim tonight isn't the concert. In contrast to the dazzling fashion buildings, this live music club is in a back alley with an underground feel to it. It's so naughty. It was not long after I was born that one might say that Manten really began to be developed. In sync with improvements to it, the station itself became an unquestionable hub for the subway and national railways, and Manten Station was quickly reborn as a terminal stop. The symbol of the town, Manten East Building, was built in the centre of the business district and became an entertainment hub for students, adults and tourists alike. The stronger the light, the deeper the darkness. Unlike the east side, bustling with visitors from a wide age range, the west side developed into more of a pleasure district. There are various bars and other businesses focusing on nighttime entertainment. Although cases of illegal immigrants coming to do manual labour have increased, their higher-ups remain concealed within this forest of people. Their gang-like unions have strengthened their pull, forging something of an unspoken agreement with the police. Inevitably, the public order has deteriorated, and this town has become dense with both light and dark. It is within the basement of a building in a back alley in the deepest part of this pleasure quarter beyond the west exit that the live club, Curator, lies. Live music club, sorry. A girl walking alone at this hour runs the risk of being hit on. But with strict rules being enforced these days, almost anyone who learns that the person they're talking to is a student would back off. Anyone looking for an easy target is just spineless. Occasionally, there are those who won't give up. The perverted, creepy types who are just thrilled that I'm a junior high student. There's no merit in talking to them, so I ignore them. Well, to be honest, the others are just worthless, especially considering I didn't come here to pick up guys in the first place. As far as the denizens of this back alley are concerned, they seem to have learned to recognise my face, and so conversation attempts have decreased. Ignoring people is quite draining, so I'm grateful from the depths of my heart. Oh, okay. Sayo. Yes. If you add this to the cost of the drinks, it should be exactly 3,000 yen. Yeah, but you're a junior high student, right? Sorry, but after 6 p.m, people under 16 must be a newbie. I click my tongue and look at the staff member. I have no recollection of seeing him before. There's a large amount of turnover among live music club staff, but still, these kinds of exchanges are troublesome. I paid my money, so hand over my ticket. This place has never been a stickler for the rules. They give minors alcohol and cigarettes all the time. I'm not here for either, I'm just here to listen. If you don't hurry, I'll report this place. I got it, here. This is it. He falters as quickly as I quickly talk him down and hands over my ticket without incident. It's not as if someone like me would make a report, but saying so is more than enough to get him to cave. He probably feels the same, seeing me as troublesome and wanting to end the conversation as quickly as possible, which leads him to being careless. Stinks of cigarettes. I come here often, even though I hate the stench of tobacco. Lately, many places have separate non-smoking areas, but this Curator place has an old-fashioned mentality, so the inside is filled with smoke. I often hear that it's good to be retro, but most of the ones saying it are the people over 30. These days, non-smokers have come to hate the second-hand smoke. Since there is a show tonight, the club is packed. The eyes of customers anxiously awaiting the start of the show are gleaming. I weave through the crowd, most of whom aren't paying attention to their surroundings, and reach the drink counter. Club soda? In a bottle? I take my drink from the bartender. Usually this would be mixed with alcohol, but I like to drink it with a little lemon. So I drop a slice in it. The faint refreshing scent of citrus tickles as it mixes with the stench of tobacco on my nose. This is a good spot. I lean against a pillar near the bar and touch the bottle to my lips, sipping the carbonated water. The tingling sensation it gives hits the spot. I finally feel relaxed. Now, I'll probably stand out amongst all of these other high-strung customers, but I'm not really paying them much attention. The reason I came here is to gather information on rumours regarding Manten Aquarium. Surely any junior high school girl in the metropolitan area has heard these stories. Like that on the day of the full moon, the water in the tanks turns to blood, or that the fish with human faces swim about, or that those who get lost in the closed-down deep-sea fish booth never come home. Worthless stories written on the internet, but I can't simply dismiss these stories as meaningless. A murder that took place at Manten Aquarium. Of the many rumours, it's that story in particular that gives me a sense that something is amiss in the real world. The reason why is because the director of Manten Aquarium, my father, Sakuragi Isao, died at Manten Aquarium. Yes, I know. The police records list his death as accidental. In reality, his death is a suspicious one with its cause unknown. There's only one way his body could have ended up torn to pieces in a tank at the aquarium. It's been about 5 years since then. So I was about 10 at the time. Despite how young I was, I didn't believe it was an accident, but with nothing to go on, I'd let it go. However, lately I've begun hearing these strange rumours. When the rumours started, it was strange that there was no origin to them. I began my search for a source about 2 months ago by hanging around here after hearing that someone from the club, Curator, worked part-time at the aquarium 5 years ago. But nothing's come of it so far. If my efforts are fruitless this time, a night when there should be the most people here, then I've resolved myself to changing the location of my investigation. Oh, this is a surprise. Someone speaks to me in the Kansai dialect, coming off as overly familiar because of it. She doesn't speak extremely fast, so she's probably from the Kyoto area, or somewhere around there. It sounds more elegant than the Osaka dialect. Looking at the source of the voice, I'm a bit surprised. There's a girl younger than I. I thought she might be a female otaku with no one to talk to, but really she seems quite intriguing. That being said, she seems to be looking my way with an odd expression. What? You're creeping me out. Don't say that. I'm Minato Miku. Nice to meet you. She's not the one I'm looking for. That person had worked part-time 5 years ago, so it couldn't have been this kid. You can't be employed until your first year of high school. Minato wears an outfit covered in frills that seems difficult to move in. She's dressed like my polar opposite. Her outfit is girly, with white as its base colour. There's an 80 to 90% chance that someone dressed like that sees herself as cute. She's probably about 10 centimeters shorter than I am, only upon sitting in one of the high counter chairs that she brought to my eye level. Hey, Sakuragi-san, right? Minato greets me by my last name. In that moment I become even more wary of her. I haven't told her my name. I don't like giving my name to people I don't know. So not even the staff or customers know it. I glare warily at Minato. Don't make such a scary face. Do you not recognize me? Is that why you're looking at me like that? Of course not. We're from the same school. You're from Class B at Mitsuba Girls Junior High, right? I'm in Class A. We're next to each other. Huh? Mitsuba Girls Junior High was the abbreviated version of Private Girls Academy, Mitsuba Junior High. Known throughout the city as a school for rich girls. It is part of a combined junior and high school. Just as Minato says, I'm a student there. Since I haven't made any friends, I didn't know any of my classmates. Even though it might be uncommon that some of those classmates are people who like bands enough to come to a live music club, it's not abnormal. More than that, the fact that Minato was a classmate is the same age surprises me. From her feet to her head, I look over Minato once more. To be sure, her outfit is unique and brand name, and her fluffy blonde hair shows scrupulous grooming. Putting aside her annoying appearance, there are definitely many girls at Mitsuba like her. Still, she's so small I can't see her as anything but an elementary school student. Do you doubt me? I want to nod my head, but there's no malicious intent in her having learned my name. I can't see any point in her lying to me, so she must be telling the truth. So what do you want? I don't want anything. I was just happy seeing a classmate at this hour. In a place like this, I just wanted to talk to you. I see. Sorry, but I don't feel like chatting with you right now. Sayu-chan, you're like that at school too, right? You're never with anyone. Sorry. It's not a problem if I don't have friends. More importantly, drop the chan. You're the same as me, huh? Huh? What kind of band are you here for, Sayu-chan? Without going too deep, Minato changes the subject. She continues using chan, and since I'm already struggling with her Kyoto dialect, there's a pushiness in her quiet demeanour that's hard to describe. Coupled with her tendency to do things her way, it's troublesome. As I remain silent, Minato puts her lips on the straw in her strawberry milk and looks at me with upturned eyes. I'm not after one band in particular. If the songs are good and the band is good, I'll listen, but I don't follow any of them. The fact that she doesn't look away until I answer is a bit frightening. I have no choice but to speak. While I do have my preferences, I'm not following one specific band. It's just a matter of those bands that I hear and consider good. Whenever I go to live music clubs, it's usually popular bands that aren't very good. I can't stand the ones who just rely on looking good, having a good MC, or acting stupid instead of having real substance. They're obnoxious. There's no point in declaring your success based on anything other than your music. That's why I dislike these visionless fools at live music clubs, getting their egos inflated by morons and prattling on about their dreams. I dislike the morons who gratefully listen to those fools talking about their dreams even more. Well, then I have a band to recommend. You should give a listen to the one scheduled to go on right before the main act. No. Then why'd you come here? If you're just here for a certain band and left after, I'd understand. But if you're just vacantly listening, then you should stay until the end, so you can learn which bands are good. In reality, I was planning to stay here until the end of the performance to see if anyone stood out to me, but I think I can be forgiven for not wanting to spend extra time with Minato. From the looks of it, you and I don't share the same interests. That's fine, it was worth a try. I finally confirmed that despite what I say, Minato wasn't listening at all. In contrast with appearance, she's more stubborn than I thought. Since moving from here would come off as running away and might offend her, I stay put. Whether she's satisfied or not, she sits down softly. I thought she would talk to me about many things, but she doesn't speak any further. She seems gloomy, giving the feeling that she was disappointed. Sayo-chan, they were good, weren't they? So. After the show, we head back to the station. I didn't really want to walk with her, but trying to convince her not to follow me is too much effort. The nightscape is terribly bright. No way, they had amazing rhythm. Silky Strawberry. Since Minato recommended them, I thought it would be a goth rock band or something, but they were actually a classic rock group. The guitarist and vocalist in particular were the best I saw today. Their main act, Izuyoi, wasn't bad. It was just a major difference in their level of skill. Because of that, I sort of feel that it wouldn't be so bad if they were here the next time I came. Those lyrics though, I can't get into them. Everything else was good though. Are you really sticking with no good and bad and they suck for your impressions of the other bands though? Minato was more knowledgeable about music than I expected, telling me her impressions during breaks of the performances. The only thing she takes away from my comments are those three thoughts. There's no value to what I said, so it's understandable. Whenever there is a break in conversation, I realize that Silky Strawberry has come up every time. Thinking back on it, the most unusual thing is that Minato and I don't talk about anything but music. It's more mysterious and suspicious. Speaking of which, I don't particularly initiate most of the conversation. Instead, I'm sulking over my inability to gain any information about Manten Aquarium. My silence probably persists for 5 minutes. Minato was a slow walker, and I thought about leaving her behind, but even I don't know why I didn't. The one to break the silence, though quite suddenly, is Minato. You know, I experienced something weird today. I don't respond, continuing to ignore her, but she continues her story anyway. We knew she would. You ever hear of Manten Aquarium? I have. Before the event tonight, I used a year pass and went there, but year pass is the abbreviation for a year-long passport. That's a ticket that allows you to enter as many times as you want. At 5,500 yen, tax excluded, you can get one after going to the aquarium 3 times in 1 year. Furthermore, 5 years ago, they started selling a pass case set with an illustration and a photography kit. It's a premium version sold at 10,000 yen before tax. It's fairly expensive, but the illustrator is popular with apparel companies, and the design containing all the fish is popular with young women, giving such goods as a great deal of value. As additional perks to getting the premium version, you get the ability to visit the Manten Aquarium, Manten East Building observation deck, as much as you please, as well as a 5% discount at some of the restaurants within the building. 5%? Lame. With so many perks, the year pass has become quite a hit. It was the idea of a Manten Aquarium staff member, but rumor says that they've since left the company. It's not unthinkable that it is some relation to the director, my father, this incident. With that in mind, I wait for the rest of Minato's story. That deep-sea fish booth was supposedly closed long ago, right? But I was able to go in. Moreover, there were fish inside. That's not all, the fish were swimming outside of the tanks. Huh? Are you stupid? The deep-sea fish booth is closed, like you said, so there shouldn't be any fish. Which is why I said it was weird from the get-go. I thought I was daydreaming. I got caught up in that feeling and even spaced out for a bit, so I don't remember everything from that time clearly. Minato was saying something strange. It's frustrating, but that's exactly why I can't ignore it. The story Minato was telling me is part of those ridiculous urban legends I'm investigating. Who'd you hear the story from? I didn't, it happened today, but I don't have anyone I thought I could tell. Really? Sometimes there are people who like spreading those kinds of rumors. I told you I don't have anyone to talk to about that kind of stuff. In other words, Minato isn't the person I'm looking for, the one who spread the rumors about Manten Aquarium. On the other hand, Minato's observations are in fact giving the rumors some credibility. You serious? I guess it's natural that you would doubt me after all. It's such a weird story, so I can forgive you for that. I find it weird myself, but I thought you might believe me, Sayu-chan. It's not that I believe you. but it isn't that I don't either. After I say this, the conversation ends. We walk on without a word, and although the distance to the station is short, it seems as if we go on forever. Well, time to go home. I'm going this way. It seems Monato's going the other way. As we're about to part, I call after Monato. Ever since she told me about the bizarre thing that happened to her today, I've been wondering what I should do, and I decide I should choose the most efficient option. Are you free tomorrow night? Yeah, why? About the deep sea fish booth you say you went to. I can't believe you if I don't see it with my own eyes. If you really did see it, then take me there. So you mean we'll go to Manten Aquarium together? We're not going to have fun, we're going to do research. I'll be waiting at the coffee shop at Manten Station at 5. Ocean cruising, right? Okay, I'll go along. For some reason, Monato looks happy. Even though I've asked her to be my guide, she probably isn't inconvenienced by it. And so, that's how I parted with Monato. I mean, you owe her a coffee at least, come on. As I gaze out of the window of the train, I suddenly remember that. Oh yeah, tonight is the night of the full moon. Well, that's a good time to be investigating paranormal activities, isn't it? Or a terrible time. Depending on what your goal is, you know. The next day I enter the coffee shop at 5 PM. I come right on time, but there's no sign of Monato. Since I don't participate in any clubs, I still arrive in plenty of time, even after stopping off at my house. I take a seat by the window and order a club soda. The new sandwich posted by the door looks delicious, but as I'm not hungry, I don't order one. I wait for about 5 minutes. Sorry I kept you waiting. It took a little while to get changed. I thought that might be the case. I anticipated this by changing before coming. Be that as it may, in an area as heavily patrolled as Manten, it's easier to move about in regular clothes than in school uniforms. Still, with Monato looking like an elementary schooler, I have my doubts as to how effective this will be. Wait a sec. As soon as Monato arrives and puts her bag down, she stands back up right away. Some time passes before she returns, having bought a sandwich and iced cafe early. Yeah, okay. I haven't eaten yet. Can we get a bite? You're asking me after you already bought it? Are you sober? Time to eat. I feel irritated, but Monato's cooperation in my investigation of Manten Aquarium is essential. As Monato eats her sandwich, I drink my club soda, little by little, slowly. It's the roast beef and mascarpone cheese sandwich that has caught my interest earlier. The thick, acidic scent that wafts my way is without a doubt a dressing with balsamic vinegar as its main ingredient. The seemingly homemade roast beef doesn't seem to have many slices, but each one is thick. The cooked parts and the tinge of redness seem to create a good balance. Sayu-chan, what's up? Nothing. You want a bite? Saya, are you stupid? Oh, you don't? This is my first time meeting with a friend, so I'm not good at reading the situation. I'm not so good at this kind of thing myself. Still, don't just call me your friend. To be sure, her observation was correct, but I don't exactly want her to share her sandwich with me. If I'm gonna have some, I'll buy my own. Monato eats the rest self-consciously. There's not really much conversation, and only when she's finished drinking her iced cafe does she suggest, let's go. That was delicious, but I'm full. Probably ate too much. What? You knew you weren't gonna finish it earlier? If I had known, I would have accepted your offer. So it wasn't that you didn't want it. I have my reasons. Well then, let's try sharing next time. Wonder if there will be a next time. The rumors of Manten Aquarium, as well as the truth. All of it might be revealed today. I doubt it. 2 hours later, our efforts prove fruitless as we stand stock still at the entrance. With no results, the air between us is gloomy. How weird, yesterday when I was walking, the door was wide open. I see. Do you hate me? Not in particular, although I didn't like you to begin with. Why does the discussion of whether or not I like her keep coming up? What's most important right now is ascertaining the truth of the rumors. Monato doesn't appear to be lying, in which case, the mystery of the deep sea fish booth deepens further. What was the difference between yesterday and today? We have no choice but to look back inductively. I wonder if it was because we were together. So we tried one at a time, but nothing changed, so what else? Monato appears to be in thought, but finally, a troubled look appears on her face and she answers with a tone of supplication. The difference? I don't know. Why? Well, tell me again, from the start. From the beginning, huh? I came to have fun at the seemingly normal Manten Aquarium and some guy called out to me. Speaking of which, I heard him talking about Manten Aquarium's urban legends. So we need to go to him. If we don't find him, we won't learn anything. You don't remember anything in particular about him, do you? When he called out to me, I thought he was just hitting on me. He was a tall man, but anything more detailed than that. She says, looking flustered. I wonder just how optimistic we can be. And if we're ambushed within Manten Aquarium, we may actually meet the guy Minato was talking about. I quickly deny these thoughts. Despite hanging around Manten Aquarium for a while, we find no clues, so we go to the club to do some research. In other words, we're going completely in circles. Sayu-chan, are you mad? I'm not really mad at you. Sayu-chan, you're a detective or something? What, are you stupid? You've asked her that a lot of times. You just don't talk like a normal person is all. Sayu-chan, are you investigating Manten Aquarium? Well, it doesn't matter, does it? Not good. I want to be your friend, Sayu-chan. I don't want you to hate me over something like this. Ridiculous. I click my tongue and then heave a sigh. Minato's point of view was always so different from mine. I have not the slightest idea how the conversation ended up this way. This is enough. I'll investigate on my own. Sayu-chan. As I start to leave Manten Aquarium, Minato calls after me. If you have time this weekend, I want to come back here with you. If you're looking into these rumors, Sayu-chan, I'll help you. Why? I told you, didn't I? I want to be a friend. I want to do all kinds of stuff with you, Sayu-chan. That's why I'm asking you the reason why. Probably because you like music and because you listen to what I have to say. But it could be something different. I don't really understand it myself. Doesn't matter to me whether you're with me or not. Your thoughts aren't wrong. It's just that I'm asking for my own reasons. I say this curtly and Minato looks down. After a brief pause, I continue. Next Friday, I'll come here once more. So stop off at the cafe by the train station around the same time. Do as you like. Sayu-chan. Later. Okay, later. Even I don't know why I said it like that. It wasn't that I like or dislike Minato. She shouldn't mean anything to me. I don't feel at all like I've gotten any closer to the truth. Even so, I have a gut feeling that Minato's experience is directly connected to the truth. Even if Minato herself turns out to be useless, there's no mistake that something may happen that involves her. Is it me or is Sayu a dick? She seems like a dick. I don't think you want to be her friend. Not even attempting to hide my irritation, I walk along clicking my tongue numerous times. After school, my homeroom teacher suddenly called out to me. Minato Miku is homesick. Homesick, and I have to take some important paperwork to her. I don't care if there are summons or exam results, so I didn't pay attention. If the family can't come, then friends are asked to deliver papers. When the homeroom teacher says this, my name apparently came up. I thought about protesting that since she was the teacher, he should take it himself, but then I remembered I was on cleaning duty and could use it as an excuse to skip out. It's better delivering something alone than having to do anything with my vapid classmates. After school, I changed and head for the address the homeroom teacher gave me. So it's here. Using a private railway line from the west gate of Manten Station. It takes about 10 minutes. I buy drinks at a supermarket near the station. It's not that far from the station, but even in the small distance I travel, I get the impression that I've long since left the city. Minato's home is on the 12th floor of an apartment building. The building is beautiful and seems to have been built within the last 5 years. The entrance is serene, like a hotel lobby, illuminated by warm coloured lighting. I press the button for the intercom, and after waiting about a minute, I hear Minato's voice. Hi. Hurry and unlock it. The auto lock is released, and I take the elevator up. It's wide enough to fit about 8 people in one car. The interior of her apartment shares its orange-coloured lighting with the entrance. The door faces away from the hallway, causing the neighbouring apartment to seem close. Seems nice. Sayu-chan, thanks. I just came because I was asked to. Minato's apartment is as pretty as I imagined it would be. There's little furniture and everything is kept meticulously tidy. I figured she'd be bad at keeping things clean based on her carefree personality, but that doesn't appear to be the case. There are a few utensils in the kitchen, and on closer inspection, dust is gathered in places out of reach. Well, that's a letdown. I can venture a guess at the type of life she leads. I'll leave the documents on the table in your living room, along with some sports drinks, club soda and fruits. I'm opening your fridge. Hey, the meat and natto in here are going bad. The moment I open the fridge, a foul odour wafts out. There's mould growing on the meat, and the natto is impossible to describe. Without a single word, I toss them in the trash. Most of the trash appears to be wrappers for side dishes and junk food. Figures, she barely cooks at all. Even I'm not this bad. I had no idea. That natto's already bad. There's a difference between fermentation and spoilage. Even though it's in the fridge, it's on the verge of going bad. Are your parents not around? Is that why you had me bring the papers in their stead? I borrow a glass and rinse it out, then pour club soda inside. I decide to have a drink before I head home and sit down on the sofa. Minato seems to have improved after having slept for half the day, so she pours one of the sports drinks I bought into a glass and sits down on the living room sofa. She sits down beside me, but it's a big enough sofa that it doesn't feel cramped. After taking a sip, Minato responds, "You see, my mother is a single parent." Without lemon, I'm less than satisfied. I glance at the clock and see that it's already 4:30 PM. The numbers on the clock leave a bigger impression on me than Minato's lonely expression. It was definitely made in Italy. I look around, noting that she owns many expensive things, including the furniture. Minato gives a small smile at the fact that I show no reaction. Sorry for saying something like that, it has nothing to do with you. That sad expression seems to be saying that it still isn't enough, but I don't exactly care to hear her story. Looking around her apartment gives me a general understanding, but those words confirm the fact that her mother rarely comes home. However, none of that has anything to do with me. For some time, the only sound is that of the clock hand. Time passes as it plays a fixed rhythm. I clean up my empty glass and say to Minato, "Well, I have to go. Hey, Sayu-chan, are we still on for visiting the aquarium we planned for Friday?" Minato asked me this after I stood up. It's not exactly a plan, but why wouldn't it be? My objective hasn't been met yet. You should know that, but you should know that much. Good, I'll see you then. See you then. We go to the same school, but weird is weird. This is how our relationship is. I don't want to be seen as being close to somebody, at least not enough so that they might think that I have a friend, which is a possibility if they see us talking at school. Friend. Ew, friend. I want to walk you to the entrance, she says as I'm already on my way out. Minato finishes speaking, but it's a dull thud that causes me to turn around. Minato? Minato has collapsed on the spot. I call out to her, but there's no response, so I walk back over to her, and I touch her to sit her up. I feel that she has a high fever. Following her fall, her breathing has become ragged. You pushed yourself too hard. Why? I didn't push myself too hard. You came all this way. I just wanted to talk to you. Don't talk. Anyway, you need to lie down on the sofa. It helps that the sofa is so big. As I help her, Minato lies down. Minato has misinterpreted things. It's not that I came to her house for personal reasons, much less to chat. And for now isn't the time to chastise her about such things. Minato's fever is very high. She's short of breath from sitting up, and it seems to be getting harder and harder for her to breathe. I'm fine, Sayu-chan. Don't speak. I fill a bowl with water, dip a washcloth inside and place it on Minato's forehead. Sweat is building up, so I use a separate cloth to wipe it away. A little bit of sports drink should be okay, so I pour some in her mouth. I'm worried she'll become dehydrated. Then there's this May weather. It's been really hot lately, so she's probably really tired from that too. That's basically all I can do, so I devote the rest of my energy to things like changing the water in the bowl. Her physical condition hasn't improved, but the symptoms have subsided somewhat. As this thought crosses my mind, I glance at the clock. 8 o'clock has already rolled around. Minato seems sleepy, so I leaned on my shoulder and put her to bed. As I do, I decide I should leave. According to Minato, her mother should be home soon. Honestly, I feel worried about leaving her to a parent that lets her live in this lifestyle. But Minato insists that she's alright, so I give in. Worrying won't help. I've always had a strong constitution, but it's because of your eating habits. Say something to your mother tomorrow and reevaluate your diet. The cause is clear. Having suggested that, I continue with, later. Sayu-chan, I'll get better by Friday. It's fine, so be quiet. I'll go to Manten Aquarium, regardless of whether you're with me or not. There's no need to worry about it. I like you, Sayu-chan. I begin to hear the soft breathing of someone who's fallen asleep. As I take a step away and think it over, I heave a sigh, realizing what happens from here on doesn't concern me. Get better soon, otherwise this will leave a bitter taste in my mouth. It's more likely than not that she can't hear me, but I realize at that moment that her breathing has gotten louder. Just like that, I leave Minato's home behind. And just like that, we need to wrap this episode up here because we're out of time for today. At least I'm pretty sure we would be. I don't know with that gap that we left in, but why is there blood on the screen? Apparently it was that very night that Minato leapt from her apartment building. And with that, we need to wrap this episode up here because we're out of time for today. But I guess we'll delve into that when we get back. Till then, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.